Welcome on into the Benchwarmers episode.
More than 16.
More than 16. I'm Alex, you're Daniel, and I'm feeling a little under the weather. You could probably hear it.
Yeah, allergies kicking your tail.
Yeah, I'm very allergic to grass, which is...
That's a bad combo if you're going to go shoot some football practices.
That's like 7 in the morning and the dew. And
so you're a fan of artificial turf is what you're telling me.
I was at Calvary today. It was great. Thank goodness. I'm going to Loyola tomorrow, so that's great.
Right.
And Parkway will be a test for me later in the week.
Well, I was at Homer today, and they're grass, so no Homer for you. But the Pelicans, killing it as usual, practicing. That was their first day of fall camp. Today is August 4th when we're recording this.
Yeah.
So we're back. And, so Lee Hedges and Independence Stadium, your place to be for games.
If you pay attention on a Friday night.
Yeah. That's more often than not. Alex Anderson is at Lee Hedges.
It's logistically makes the most sense for me to be close to the station. But I do often enjoy. I go to Loyola too, Mesmer, and most schools have turf now. Though
I feel like that is the shift nowadays. It's cheaper to maintain, it drains quicker.
I'm thinking just game surface because a lot of them practice on grass. Game surface. Who does not have turf in our area?
In our area, actual playing Minden, Northwood.
No, they don't. They got.
No,
turf.
they switched. They switched.
Yeah.
Shows how modern I am. Evangel used to, but now they got turf.
Yep. Thank gosh, that was. I got a car stuck.
Yeah.
At Evangel.
Yeah, drainage and pooling water was an issue.
Absolutely awful.
Often.
All right, so we got Minden.
Yeah.
Arcadia.
Off the top of my head, Arcadia. Haynesville's grass. Thank God.
Homer is grass.
I prefer grass.
Is Homer grass?
Homer's grass as well, yeah.
Okay.
Red River has turf.
Yep, Mansfield has turf.
Logansport has turf.
Minnesota, of course.
You're right.
This is great.
A lot of turf. This is just great content.
Podcast.
Well, this is a local Architects, football podcast. Arkansas schools and Texas schools, a lot of them also have turf. Carthage, turf.
Yeah,
Pleasant Grove, turf.
Every single one of them in Texas.
Yeah.
Like I can't even remotely come close to thinking of one that doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the world we're in right now.
Yeah.
We have shot 10 of the 24 stories. You've edited a handful. So we're getting there. Still got a couple weeks before the countdown begins on the 17th.
Yeah.
The countdown to Southern Classic Chicken Friday Football Fever. I did want to point out, as I am wearing our beautiful Southern Classic shirts from last season.
Brand rep.
I saw something awesome over the weekend.
Did you watch Happy Gilmore 2?
I did, but I watched that last weekend, but I also enjoyed that.
I still have not seen it, though, so...
It's quite good.
Yeah.
We could do a review next week.
Yeah.
Anyways, off the rails. A lot of people in Baton Rouge, like, those LSU accounts and stuff that you follow or we follow, these beat writers and this and that, flabbergasted in Baton Rouge at the traffic created by the opening of Southern Classic Chicken.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They got a Southern Classic in Baton Rouge. Yeah.
I saw multiple posts like, what is this place? This is insane. Look at the traffic. And I'm like, just sitting back like,
I don't
know nothing about that. Like, this is...
225, don't know about that 318.
Welcome to Shreveport, baby.
Right.
So that got me excited. Kind of like got
That's
me.
good.
Like
I mean,
football.
well, you would be dialed in. Alex is in a lot of these meetings with the Southern Classic higher up, so I didn't even know they were opening a Southern Classic in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I actually got to get a...
Southern Classic Chicken in Baton Rouge.
I actually got a look at the map, and I can't tell you the other... I can't say it on air.
Corporate secrets are not to be divulged.
But they did show me the map to all the places they're expanding. And I'm telling you, Chicken Talk now here on the Benchwarmers.
Yeah.
Are they the next Canes? Like, are they going to just blow up?
It's kind of like, I feel like Southern Classic Chicken is maybe that band that you don't want to get too big. Like, I want them to be, like, successful, but
they're formula.
I mean, I'm sure they would love to be, like, on a level of, like, a KFC or a Popeyes or a Cane's. But
locally here, it's, like, legendary food. Like, so anyone around here...
I remember my first bite of Southern Classic Chicken.
Oh, yeah. Like, if anyone says, I got Southern Classic Chicken today, your immediate reaction is, you didn't get me any? What the heck? Yeah, so I think, they're... And my buddies in Lafayette said it's the same way every day. Just packed, wrapped around the store, traffic, street blocked.
Well, North Market is like a certain time of the day. You just, like, don't even try. Well, actually, you should try. You should wait in line. It's worth it to wait in line for some Southern Classic Chicken. But
they can't get too big because, like, we need...
It's the balance.
We need them.
Right. Because They're great.
They can. They're awesome people. They can do whatever they want. I'm just kidding, but we do love them as our sponsor.
As those that have seen our 2 promos potentially.
I know
there's just one out right now.
Well, I know for sure there's one out because I saw it the other day.
Yeah.
We did shoot the second one in the canteen.
Yeah.
And then we have one that we're shooting in studio, I believe, on Wednesday. It's a me thing.
Okay.
It's the one that we talked about in studio, and you'll be in. Sorry.
Folks will find out about that later.
Yeah. So. High school football is really, we've been just ingrained in it as we got to get all these stories done. But there has been some other stuff, namely the NFL preseason kicks off this week. I mean, it kicked off last week with the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
Which
I did not see a single snap.
I watched all of them, and it was awesome. And then I watched the highlights later, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, Hall of Famer, clearly. He proved it. Let's bench Justin Herbert. Trey Lance is the man. And the Lions, without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, worst team in the league, they're not going to win a game. That's what I took from that. I'm kidding. That's what Twitter took from that game. And calm down. It's the freaking Hall of Fame game.
We, and I say we as a collective society, tend to jump the gun on certain things.
Yep.
Freezing cold takes is, they got them
great
bookmarked.
I'm sure.
For things like that.
Freezing cold takes at a busy night Hall of Fame game.
The amount of tweets for 28-3. Oh, the Falcons going to do this, and then the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
That's a great one.
Which the Saints kind of have 2 Super Bowls.
No.
Atlanta losing one in that way, that doesn't count as another Super Bowl.
Business as usual.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. But yeah. Let's not delve too deep into preseason football. Yeah,
I mean, there's just not a lot to. Well, there is one big story, obviously locally, and that'd be Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Requested a trade.
I thought you were going to go with Jake Haener and where is he going to fit into the quarterback rotation? I'm joking.
Who's the other guy? Decker? They brought him in. Did they cut him already? I don't know. Anyway, that's your Saints quarterback recap.
Yeah. But yeah, Micah Parsons. He wrote look. TLDR, too long, didn't read.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, Dallas. And I went to the end and was like, I personally handed him my trade request to Stephen Jones.
Yeah.
That's what I got from him.
And he said, I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys, which I feel like was...
Too long, didn't read, bro. I was like...
Yeah, what is the meme like... I'm sorry that happened, or congrats on that reading.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah, straight up.
I was like,
but I read it because I was working that day, so I needed to quote it.
Right.
And I just feel like requesting a trade as like a negotiation tactic, we've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, remember Myles Garrett requested one?
That just happened.
Was like, hey, here's a bunch of money, and like, okay. And that's what Jerry Jones is eventually going to do.
Well, you would think.
But
Jerry Jones is a prideful man.
He's a prideful man.
And Micah is as well. And they've been going after Jerry's still been talking smack in the pressers. He's still saying things about Micah Parsons.
The last one that I saw was from the Saturday media scrum where he was basically like, I'm not taking this seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know if has he spoken on Sunday or Monday. I haven't seen, but the big one Saturday.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I actually listened to all 16 minutes of that, and he's like, I love Micah. Micah's great. And through his comments, he's like, I don't like the agent. And the analogy that he used
doesn't matter.
The analogy that he used was like, you know how when you ask your mom for something, it was like, okay, I'm going to go for dad. It's just mom said no, and then dad said I can do it. He was like equating that we had something with Micah, and then somehow the agent became the dad.
Is Steven
in the
mom?
Situation. I think Jerry's both parents, and then Steven's like the brother or something.
The godparent.
Yeah, but. Long and short of it, Jerry's like, I like Micah, but I don't like his agent.
But does Jerry Jones understand that you have to have contract conversations with the agent over the player, or at least both?
Not in Jerry Jones's mind. And if it's obviously the player is going to have his own representation, but in Jerry's mind, he was saying that the agent's not there on the day-to-day basis in the building.
Well, yeah,
the
but you can't have a...
So he's trying to have his cake and eat it
Jerry's
too.
basically saying that I spoke with Micah, and I thought we were good.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
basically.
In Micah's point of view, it's like, well, you haven't reached out to my agent. There's been no offer on the table. There's nothing for me to sign. What do you mean we're good?
Right.
And I'm sorry, but Micah's right.
Right.
Like, what do you?
And like, I mean, he has a right to have his agent do his.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
and that's the point. That's the
dang
point of it.
He pays him.
Right.
I mean, he pays the man.
He pays him to do that job.
to get him the most money possible.
Right.
And this is not the first time Jerry's done. I mean, he's done some crazy stuff like this. I mean, we've seen it time in and time out.
Yeah.
When's the moment? Like, when's the moment that Cowboys fans? I mean, I think maybe they already have had enough.
I mean,
but when's
look,
the moment? It's like, sell this, please step down.
It won't happen, and it's morbid to talk about. But the only way Jerry Jones has given up control of the Cowboys is when
we know.
the heavenly gates come calling for him.
But the Winter fans just like, I'm over it. I guess never.
They've been over it.
But they still go to, I mean, that place sells out every game. I mean, you know, we them boys are going to hear it. They're going to win the first game, and it's like, just kidding, everything's fixed, we're good.
Because sports are addicting and we're all crazy.
Yeah. But
like, we grew up rooting for the Saints, bro.
Like, yeah, but I'm calling
Remember 2-0? Remember how how the air smelled? It was fresher. Food tasted better.
No, I wasn't buying it. I was not buying that 2-0. That was the most fraudulent 2-0. Like, Derek Carr's going to play perfect for 3 weeks in a row? Nope. He's not going to get hurt.
Whether the belief was there, being 2-0
that
felt
2-0
great,
rocks,
right?
But
we all had to know, like, all right, the Eagles are going to be a test, and then Eric McCoy went down, and then the toilet.
And then two defenders crash into each other with our defensive head coach. Love it. Look, no, because Saints had Dennis Allen. 2-0 is dumb. It didn't matter. They strike it from the record, as they then went on to do.
I like how we turned to Cowboys talking to Saints talk.
Yeah, but back to Cowboys, I'll ask one more question before we get to our interview. Does Micah Parsons play it down for the Dallas Cowboys this year? So you say they get it done.
I don't think Jerry Jones is that crazy. I don't think think Micah's, and by proxy his agent, are going to be that. But
I've heard this argument already, so I'm repeating something I've heard earlier today. But are the Cowboys a surefire Super Bowl contender with Micah Parsons this year right now? Do you think they're realistically
a Super Bowl contender?
Yes.
Like, no.
Okay.
Even with Micah? Because, I mean, we've had the conversation every year.
You could get a lot for Micah Parsons.
You could.
In a trade.
Yeah.
Is it worth admitting that this era of Cowboys football is kind of shot? You just hired a new coach.
Yeah.
You still have the majority of your roster.
He wants T.J. Watt money. I don't think he's going to get T.J. Watt money.
And he deserves it. I mean, he's just as impactful, in my opinion.
He is.
But I think he's had at least 12 sacks every year in his career so far. I mean,
Jerry's always overpaid, overpaid for CD, overpaid for Dak because they kick the can down the road and they're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, he did the same thing.
So it's like a bet of their own making in that regards, depending on who you want to believe. But does he play another snap? Yes. I can't foresee it.
You got to think that it's just, but the notes app thing and like the long drawn out, and I know that
that thing was 3 Twitter pages.
And I
was like, no.
I know
you got to please the fans, but
right, and I could be considered,
He did say thank you, Dallas. So
sure. It's just like it's so dramatic. I don't know, man. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I mean, it's like
it's exasperating.
Just tell Schefter that you want to trade and just let him put it out, and then it's the same process.
I don't think there was a lot of punctuation either. Like, I kind of gleamed it. Like, and there's not like commas and periods in there. So like once I get to the point where it's like I got run-on sentences, I give up.
Yeah.
So shout out to
English.
Shout out to Caroline Castora, former Penn State Nittany Lion, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Maybe. She could like root for him because Caroline was a Giants fan. So if Micah leaves, then she could like truly root for Micah Parsons.
I think the odds-on favorite besides the Cowboys to land him is the Eagles, which I think makes zero sense. Like that,
there's no
chance. Yeah. And what would the Eagles have to give up? Everything.
They'd have to give up Saquon.
A.J. Brown,
give us Saquon.
Yeah,
give us Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, we'll take that.
And then y'all get Micah Parsons. Straight up.
They can have Cam Jordan.
Straight up. All right. You know what? You know what we can guarantee? And you know who's really going to be in their franchise next year?
Chet Yoder. And so obviously it's football time. We're getting ready for Southern Classic Chicken Friday Football Fever, but it's also hockey time. The Shreveport Mudbugs kicking off their training camp this week.
Yeah.
And the one and only Chet Yoder, their play-by-play guy, their media extraordinaire,
Bay Area sports fan.
Bay Area sports fan, victim of a room stealing. You'll find out in just a minute. Let's go to Chet Yoder with the Mudbugs. Big interview here for the Benchwarmers. Another one of our friends, a guy that if you follow the Mudbugs, you know his voice.
Yeah.
It's Chet Yoder, the play-by-play announcer, media guy in general for the Shreveport Mudbugs. Chet, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's great to have you, man. It's great to listen to you with the Bugs, and I know training camp is right around the corner here for the boys. When does it start, and what's it going to be like in George's Pond with all those prospects in the house?
Well, camp starts next week. We actually have players rolling in this weekend. They're going to have about a guesstimated amount of maybe 80 to 90 players.
Wow.
It's kind of one big circus at the rink right now, or coming up soon. First team meeting is going to be next Friday, so there's going to be a lot to, I guess, digest for some of these newcomers. The Bugs only return about 7 players from last year's squad, so there's going to be a lot of new faces and hopefully an exciting squad for this upcoming season.
Yeah, for sure. And it is intense, I would imagine, because like you said, there's 80, 90 guys, not nearly that many roster spots.
Right. So they're basically what they're going to do, and they do this every year. They're going to have a group A, B, C, D, even E if they get that far, and have groups play against each other, play within each other. It's basically from morning to night. These days get long because these groups got to come in, play at a certain time, and then the next group comes in, and so on. So it's a lot of new faces. It's a lot of people to see. Of course, I'll be maybe trying to get in front of our regulars, or returners rather, not regulars, returners, and kind of get their gauge of what camp looks like, because a lot of these faces you're not going to see when the season begins.
So, Chet, I mean, you're a man of many hats. You do a little bit of everything around there. How often are you in communication with Soupy and Musket about what's going on the day-to-day schedule, so you're informed and can be knowledgeable to inform us about what's going on, and the general public as well, via Facebook messages or Twitter posts?
I keep a pretty good relationship with Coach Soupy. I mean, Jason Soupy Campbell and I probably talk every week or so, and he's fantastic. We're getting a new assistant coach this season, actually, which will be announced soon, and I don't talk to Scott Musket all that much outside of just the staff meetings and kind of the household items, so to speak, which is a good thing. He lets me do my thing, and I'd rather stay out of his way because he's got enough on the plate. But with Coach Soupy and I, we talk roster pretty much every week or so, and that's where I get most of my updates on informations, of course, injuries, and we're going to have media luncheons, which we do every week, coming up fairly soon. So I would say, once or twice a week, I touch base with him. It's very, very easy with him. I usually, I'm not with them or around them every day, but I'm able to touch base with him, once or twice a week.
Well, you are the keeper of all Mudbug knowledge, and kind of how did it come to be, you getting involved with this team? And I mean, you've been here for years now. How did it really start?
It started at the end of the 2015-2016 season. I was working for the Louisiana Ice Gators in Lafayette, Louisiana, which also hosts the Louisiana Drillers around that area as well. The Louisiana Ice Gators folded, and they ceased operations, which ended up becoming a fold. And I was scrambling to find another hockey gig because I really wanted to get back into hockey broadcasting. Didn't want that run to end because I was with them for 3 seasons.
Wow.
And I sent an email to Scott Musket. I sent an email to Tommy Scott. I called them. I got their phone number. No reply back. And so I looked on their website and I saw a guy named Jason Soupy Campbell. And I At that time, he was a second assistant coach and just kind of the director of game operations, kind of shown where he's kind of been every step of the way as a member of this organization. Um, I sent him an email, and within an hour, he got back to me. And he said that I don't know if we're looking for a broadcaster, but please touch base with me every month. This was very early
Yeah.
into the summer of 2016. Well, no, yeah, earlier in the year because we got going, I guess September of 2016. So this might have been back in April or so. And I basically touched base with him every month. And then in August, he said, "Hey, we're looking for a guy. Send me your stuff again." And so basically, he sent that on over to Scott Musket and Tommy Scott. I got the position, and I have Coach Soupy to thank because I wouldn't have been able to, start this life and now be entering my 10th season
Wow.
as the voice of the Shreveport Mudbugs. So the coach is definitely one to thank, but the organization has just been terrific in supporting me and having me as their broadcaster.
Yeah, Coach Campbell continuing to show why he's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
The continuation of that story, kind of want to go into the past. When did you want to be a play-by-play guy? Who did you maybe envision yourself being, and how did you get on the path of getting behind the mic and calling games in the South, hockey in the South?
Yeah, it's really kind of a crazy story because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a broadcaster. I grew up in California, so I'm a big Bay Area sports fan, Giants, 49ers, San Jose Sharks. And so I grew up listening to all those great voices, which I still do today. And I wanted to do it ever since I was about 8 or 9 years old. I thought it was really cool. And I used to, it's a cliche story, but be in the living room, mute the TV, and kind of call the game
Oh
as a
yeah. Yeah.
kid. Um, and I pursued it. I went to San Jose State in California, which is state school, and I got the opportunity right away to be able to broadcast San Jose State football, basketball, baseball, get all that opportunity. I did hockey as well for a couple of seasons, along with volleyball, soccer. I really got my hands wet um, in all those things. I was able to do 5 years of minor league baseball around the area. Um, when I came down to Lafayette, I wanted to work in hockey, but I was also working for a sports talk radio station. So I kind of had a lot going on. I was a producer and a talk show host. So it's one of my other passions as well is just being able to talk. And so when I got that opportunity, I kind of did both. And I've always had multiple jobs for so many years. But when I got into hockey, it was something that was really special for me because I mean, I don't want to say it, but it's probably one of the most difficult sports to call
Oh
just
yes.
because it's so fast. And I've been stuck. I don't want to say I've been stuck in it, but it's something that I've really enjoyed doing. And, uh, and I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to be able to, call hockey games, to get this opportunity in Shreveport, which is a great market. I mean, the organization, the fans, the support has been tremendous. I mean, the Mudbucks don't lead the league in attendance for no reason. I mean, they work really hard. Our staff is up and down, just terrific in the job that we do. And I feel like I have just a small part in that as well that kind of add to the experience of our fans, like our booster club, our billet families, everybody that supports us, our corporate partners as well. Just up and down have been terrific. And so it's just such a neat market to be in.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I've been around the Mudbugs my whole life, and now when I think Mudbugs, I think Chet Yoder. I hear the calls. I love it, man. And you're right. Jeff Beimfor, one of our anchors, told us a story one time. He used to do sports at CNN, and one of his buddies who called baseball had to kind of do an impromptu call of a hockey game.
and basically all he did was say, "We've got it, they've got it, we've got it, they've got it," back, so just back and forth. So yeah, I mean, I don't think people understand how fast it moves, even at the junior level. So it really is impressive what you're able to do. I did want to ask you about the first time that you and I got really acquainted with each other in Corpus Christi. I don't know if you remember this. When we all shared a room, me, you, and Roy, I was unaware that was happening, and I'm sitting on on one of the beds, shirt off, a whole box of pizza sitting on my lap, just housing it, and Chet and Roy walk in the door. Yeah, that was a fun night, right?
It was a fun night, and well, you stole my room. So the story goes, I was traveling on my own because I have another job, which we can get to a little bit later on. And I had to do like a seminar, and I had to drive with Roy the next day. You were traveling with the team,
Right.
which I normally do. And I get in Tuesday night, you're already day in, and Roy and I are going up to the room, and we did not expect you to be in there. We did not expect you to have your shirt off, kind of like your belly hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll never forget that night because you had your own bed and you were kind of settled in. The grease was kind of filled up on that bed. So Roy and I had to share a bed.
Yep.
And we're both portly adults. And so I'm like hanging on the edge of this bed just because I'm trying to respect Roy and his space. And luckily it was only for one night.
Yeah.
I said luckily, also unfortunately, because the
Right.
Mudbugs were also eliminated from that series that next day.
Yeah, and then we just swapped. I went back with Roy, and I think you went back with the team.
Yeah, we figured that would just be the best. You
Yeah.
take that, and I just go back on my bunk, which I think I got. Yeah, I did get a bunk that night.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet bus ride home, but you got to get ready for those if the season ends in that manner.
For sure, man. And you did mention your other job. You deal poker. Tell us a little bit about that life. Something I know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I don't promote poker for somebody to start if they know nothing about it. It is the best card game on earth. I do work at the local casino called Bally's. It's Bally's Casino. A poker dealer / supervisor, which basically I'm called a dual rate. I'm able to do both. It's something that I have a lot of passion in, and to be able to make basically a stable income out of has been tremendous. So I'm happy to be able to do that and work with my Mudbugs, and Scott Musket and also my poker boss are fantastic in making the schedules work. There's a lot of long days, long nights, some sleep deprived days, but it's a lot of fun because one thing I wanted to do was work in sports, and now I'm able to work in sports and gaming and kind of have two jobs that are a lot of fun to do. If you can't have fun in your job, then I just don't think it's worth working.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So with the poker background, I know there are several types of poker. Off my lack of knowledge, I guess it's Texas Hold'em, and then there's the other one where you kind of like get two cards and deal them out, and everybody kind of shows their hand.
Yeah, that one.
I'm showing my poker knowledge right now. Do you have a particular favorite poker game to deal? And kind of offshoot of that, what's your favorite poker related movie?
Okay, well, those are two really good questions. The only game that I deal is No Limit Texas Hold'em, which is where everybody gets two cards and there's 5 community cards with various rounds of betting. There's also a poker variant called Omaha, which you get 4 cards and you can only use 2 out of your hand. You have to use 2 out of your hand and 3 on the 5-card community board. So those are the two primary games that I deal. Of course, there are millions of different poker variants games that I can deal, and every once in a while you do deal if the players want to. But poker is a separate department from kind of some of the flop poker, let it ride, kind of gimmicky games down in we call it the carnival game area, where you see blackjack and craps and all that stuff. So I do that. Favorite movie, no doubt about it. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I recommend everybody should watch it, even if you're not into poker. It's called Rounders.
Okay.
It's a movie that came out in 1998. It stars Matt Damon, Ed Norton, John Malkovich.
Wow.
It's
That's some heavy hitters.
probably my top 3 favorite movie of all time.
I've never even heard of it. I'm gonna check
Well,
it out.
I've heard of Rounders. I've heard it mentioned several times as one of those kind of, not necessarily a cult classic, but a gotta see it type movie, just for some of the performances. So I'm gonna have to get on that.
Yeah, awesome, man. That sounds good.
You have to see that movie not just to kind of learn about poker, because yes, it does teach you about poker. It's just a really funny and engaging movie because you have Ed Norton, Matt Damon, John Malkovich. Need I say more? 3 really good actors.
Yeah, awesome, man. I am running out of time a little bit here, but I did want to ask. I said, I think Chet Yoder when I think Mudbugs. Another thing that I think, and it's kind of indicative of the new era of Mudbugs hockey, is the claws up and oh my gumbo. You got a ton of Chetisms, as we call them, on air. Enlighten us, maybe some of your favorites and where they came from.
Okay, so Claws Up was something we came up as an organization after our first year in the NAHL. So I just kind of came up with that to close out a game if we win. And it's something like, and I hate to bring this up because we're in Louisiana, Alabama, they like to say roll tide.
Right.
Like if you kind of walk around and you see somebody in Crimson Tide colors, you always say roll tide. That's something we're trying to build. Like if you see somebody, hey, Claws Up, you see somebody in a Mudbug shirt. It hasn't carried as much weight, of course, as Roll Tide, but it's something we want to build in this community. Oh My Gumbo was something that I came up with when somebody made a gumbo pot. Like a friend, I think it was a neighbor of mine, made some gumbo. We had a party. And it was really, really good gumbo. And I was like, yeah, it was really good gumbo. Oh, my gumbo. Like, it's really good. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, somebody kind of said, I never heard that one before. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should use it.
There it is.
Then you have, man, there's so many. Oh, well, Top Shelf, where the ladies hide the fine wine.
Yep.
That one's everybody's favorite. That was an old girlfriend that I dated that had, like, this old, like, wine collection. And she would like go fetch it from like the top shelf. Somehow it sparked.
Whatever works, man.
Something like that. But that's a variation of top shelf where where Mama hides the cookies.
That's
and
it.
Yeah. That's for you, Alex. Because I know you're a big Buffalo guy.
Yes, sir. RJ.
And so there's a few. I don't know. I can't come up. I mean, premature lampilation when somebody lights the lamp too early.
Right.
I like to use that. That's a little
risque,
but
it hits though. I mean, it works.
Yeah, I mean, the Mudbugs have some history with a premature light being, I guess.
They do. Yeah.
And that one hurts.
Yeah. Sorry to Alex.
It's all good. It's all good. Look, the fact of the matter is that we got a Rick Jeanneret mention in an interview. Yeah. I'm good. Like, that's all I needed, man. The GOAT. Chet, we got to go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Before we go, can we get a just good old claws up from Chet Yoder?
Ooh. Okay, you're putting me on the spot. Can I do like my whole call?
You can do the whole thing.
Do what you want.
Okay. Mudbugs win! Mudbugs win! Mudbugs win! Claws up!
Let's go, baby.
Yes!
I'm ready for hockey season, baby. Let's go. Chet, you're the man. We'll have you on it. We got to have you on again.
We will have Chet on.
Yes, you will be on again when we get into the season. Thanks so much for hanging out with the Benchwarmers, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, if that doesn't get you ready for hockey, I don't know what to tell you. Man. You just don't have a pulse.
I feel like we could have had another 15, 20 minutes easily with Chet.
Yeah, so it was, again, our schedule right now is so messed up. Yeah. We're getting up 7 in the morning. Sometimes we're going at night, afternoon practices. We're flying all over the place. So when we did that interview, we had a good 15, 20-minute window, realistically, we could get it done. But it is a good thing, though, because we can have Chet on again later.
Yeah, we can. I really want to get into like his Bay Area sports fandom.
Right, we got a lot to get into with Chet. And I really wanted to talk more about just traveling with the team and stories and stuff that he's, because it's just so unique of a job to have. Because I mean, you don't really realize it, but when they go, like he goes with them. He doesn't call those games remotely like they do a lot of times in the higher leagues. He's going on every trip. He's riding the bus. Sometimes doesn't even get a bunk. He's got to sit up on a little chair and try to sleep. So it is quite the grind. 3 games back to back days. And, that
clause up was awesome. He got into it. I was like, Chet, do you?
And they win a lot of games, so he says that a lot.
Yeah.
So I kind of did my TO earlier. It was my TO was the people overreacting to preseason football.
My TO is ticked off at myself.
Okay.
Went out to Homer.
I know this
one. And so we have a pair of company vehicles. I won't say the brand, not that it matters or anything. They're very identical. I put my gear in one. There was a key for said vehicle, and there was only one vehicle. I hit the unlock. I got tunnel vision and drove an hour to Homer with my gear in a separate car. But thankfully, I have a backup to my backup generally always. So I was able to use my iPhone to shoot clips. I used my work phone that had a kind of a connector for the mic to conduct interviews as well. You make lemons out of lemonade and you get the job done. And you plan ahead, you plan accordingly, but more importantly, double check before you leave if you have your gear, and make sure you're actually in the right car.
Yeah, I was curious. I wanted to hear the story because
it was a quick realization. Is like,
and then
I was turning from East Kings to Uri to go to the interstate. I was like, I cleared my media card. I'll be good. I didn't have anything. I had my cell phone and a hopes and dreams and a thing of water.
Yeah.
But so made it work. Ticked off at myself, but got over it quickly.
And
because Richie Casey and the Pelicans are awesome.
And this is obviously on you, not on them, but every single year there always seems to be something with Homer and Haynesville.
Yeah.
Something goes on. Like, remember it was picture day.
Technical snafu.
Yeah. And then you went to Haynesville that one day and nothing was going on, remember? You just got shots of like the stadium and stuff.
But we make it work.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. The thing is, and as I mentioned with our schedule, we don't have time because we were lucky to get as many done as we got done. There are schools that still haven't started yet.
Right.
Because they have to take that summer, they have to take some time off, especially if they did spring ball. So we've got, like I said, we got 10 shot now, which all things considered ain't bad.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We'll have obviously more as we get through the week. But that's what we're working on. I mean, that is the main focus here. Glad we got a chance to sit down because this is pretty much all we get to talk this time of year, really, because we're running and gunning. But I'm hungry. Let's wrap this thing up.
Sock check.
Sock check. I got trunks. I've worn these before. These are little Trunks Coon kid version.
Purple Air Trunks.
Yeah, the real.
The OG.
Yeah.
These are Goku, Son Goku.
Yep, good stuff.
These are the socks that I wore when I proposed to my girlfriend, who is now my fiance. So these are very special socks.
And why did they turn Trunks' hair blue? Like, it just made no sense.
Didn't you have the story where it was like a?
Well, I know because Bulma's hair was blue.
It was like
an
issue on the mistake,
but
and
this
then
is
they
what
ran with it.
So future Trunks' hair turns blue, right?
Yeah.
But then when he goes back to the past, kid Trunks' hair is still purple. It makes no sense.
But when he first came in DBZ.
And Logan says it's like, whatever. Okay, we can make excuses all day. But the fact that is, when he was last in the present day,
when he sliced up Frieza, he had purple hair.
When he fought the androids in Cell, he had purple hair. All of that, right? He comes back in Super. They haven't seen him yet. And Bulma's like, does he have blue hair?
Yeah.
How would we know that his hair color changed? So that means Logan's theory is wrong. And they just pretended as if his hair was blue the entire time.
Yeah.
We can get a second TO.
Yeah, we can get into like time travel and issues with that whole.
Well, the summer's
thing.
over. We missed our chance to some intense Dragon Ball breakdown.
Right.
Catch us on our new podcast,
DBZ Super
DBZ
GT Talk,
DBZ 3,
right
on KTBS. All right, guys, love you. Thanks for hanging out with the Benchwarmers. We'll be back next week, and hopefully I sound a little better because I'm getting on my own nerves with this.
Yeah,
easily.
Man. The elements, you're handling it. Great job.
See you next week.